Nama Budaya, and welcome to the Buddha Dharma TV Saturday program. I am Lisa Chun. Before we start, we have a very important announcement to make. Please note that starting from July 24th, our Chinese program will be telecast every Thursday at 8 a.m. in Toronto, Canada, 8 p.m. in Singapore, and in other regions. We will no longer telecast this Chinese program on Sundays. The final Sunday telecast will be on July 20th. We kindly invite all our viewers to tune in on Thursday nights from then on. Thank you for your attention. Today, we will start with a Dharma talk, a Buddhist song, and a short Pindapata program. We begin today's program with a Dharma talk by a renowned Zen Buddhist nun, Venerable Dr. Chung Oh-Hoon Lee. The Venerable is highly respected spiritual teacher, renowned for her wisdom, compassion, and deep commitment to humanity. Venerable Dr. Lee is a visionary activist who has dedicated her life to promoting peace, justice, and interreligious understanding across the globe. Venerable Dr. Lee has played a pivotal role on the fostering of meaningful dialogue among different faith traditions and is widely recognized as a global leader in the field of interreligious cooperation. Through her work, she continues to inspire countless individuals and communities to embrace harmony, mutual respect, and spiritual awakening. Here is Venerable Dr. Lee to talk on the topic, Knowing Your Mind.
We really meditate with the who am I kind of a core question. It is a question that every spiritual path really eventually return to it to ask the fundamental question of who am I? Not just when you look like you, but much deeper than things we are thinking that who you are is not much greater than what really we are. So it is a question that opened a doorway to your freedom. It's a kind of a mirror to reflecting, to find who your true self, who you truly are. So today I'd like to guide you through one of the most illuminating maps of mind found in Buddhist psychology, 8 consciousness. In one Buddhism, we recognize one more consciousness called pure consciousness or Buddha nature consciousness. So this teaching really helps us to see our experience, how our experience is shaped, and how we perceive, how we react, and how we form identity, or ultimately how we can be awakened. It is deeply related to our modern day life because we are so busy with so much going on in our world. So the first 5 consciousness are related with our senses. The first is eye consciousness. When we see sunshine, when we see flowers or trees, or when we see sky, sunrise and sunset. So this color or form or light, this is something creating eye consciousness. When eye contact with the outer world, when we see things, eye consciousness arises. Second is the ear consciousness. When he hear sound of a gong or sound of a mokta, or when he hear sound of a chanting together. So that is the ear consciousness. When he hear music while we are walking meditation, so music, voice, or even traffic. So this is ear consciousness. And third one is nose consciousness. What we smell, the beautiful flowers, fragrance, or coffee, or tea, or even smoke, or even pollution. So this is a nose consciousness in Buddhism talking about. And the fourth consciousness is a tongue consciousness. When we taste water or something sweet or salty or bitter, so it's a tongue consciousness. And fifth one is a body consciousness. When we practice a sitting meditation, we touch the floor. And when we practice a walking meditation, our feet touch the floor and earth. So when we touch it, sometimes hard, sometimes we feel warmth or cold, or pain or texture. So this is a fifth consciousness in Buddhist psychology talking about. It's very basic in our five senses. These five consciousnesses arise when we use these five senses, and in our today's world, they are overstimulated. It's really too much to see, too much we hear. So from screen time or sound or even taste or distraction. So we experiencing all five senses or five consciousness is overstimulated. So we live in a culture of a constant input, much more so than 100 years ago or even 2,500 years ago. So without our own awareness, our senses can lead us into habits of reactivity or craving. So the practice here is a conscious use of our five senses. This is our practice. Noticing things without clinging and enjoying without craving. So this is something we can simply practice when we use five senses relating with five senses consciousness. That is a surface area of our mind functioning. Underneath that, there is a sixth consciousness called the mental consciousness, the thinking mind. This is the layer of our thought, analyzing, planning, and judging. We all do that daily, a lot of these activities. It helps us to survive and succeed, but it also creates a lot of problems because of overthinking, anxiety, or mental noise. So a lot of mind functioning with this thinking mind creates a lot of distraction and disturbance in our modern day life. So mindfulness practice gives us a space from our thoughts so we can respond with clarity rather than reactivity out of habit. So remember here that you are not your thought. You are the one aware of your thought. So this is a sixth conscious functioning. And seventh conscious is the ego consciousness. So in this realm, this layer gives us the sense of I, my, me, mine. If we clinging to self-image and get caught in the pride or fear or comparison all comes from this ego consciousness. This is a seventh consciousness. This is a function of actually self-consciousness. When we drop ego, we stop taking everything so personally. We can create a lot more peace in our lives if you can aware of this ego consciousness and recognize it and let go. So if we see life for what it is, instead of what we think they say this way or that way, we assume about me creates a larger problems. So ego consciousness is something we need to really pay attention to, because this is not real you, it's a false you, it's a small, petty self claiming I my me consciousness. And eighth consciousness, underneath the seventh consciousness is the eighth consciousness. It's called the store consciousness. Everything we do daily, what we speak, how we interact with people, what we think or act, or all kind of things we engage in daily, stored in this eighth consciousness. This is something we need to pay attention to. This is like an inner hard drive. It stores all the habits, memories, tendencies, and karma we've accumulated through life. So this is something we need to pay attention to, because everything, every time, every day, we repeat a thought or emotion, we plant a seed here. So whatever we do is not just disappear, but going deeper in your eighth consciousness and restore there. The problem is that all things we do is planting a seed in this eighth consciousness. Sometimes when this seed grows into personality or patterns, both helpful and harmful. So when you recognize what is helping you, we can keep doing it. But it is not helping you, it's hurting you, then recognize in this eighth consciousness and let it go. So if you find something repeatedly, same action again and again, like anxious or angry or stuck in certain habits, it is not because you are failing, but it's because those seeds have been watered many times. So that's why it's popping up in same pattern, same habit all the time. So this is really, we need to pay attention to and recognize this is stored in eighth consciousness. But when you recognize it, then the good news is that you can change something different seed. You can change, you can plant a new seed. So this is something very critical to recognize, that when you have that some tendency or pattern or habit, something pops up again and again negatively, this is something you just be aware of it and release it and let it go. And clearly, there's a stored consciousness, because this is a karmic seed preserved in this eighth consciousness. So we can change the pattern through consistent practice. Like this morning, we are sitting, meditation is so peaceful, so great. And when we constantly practicing with gratitude or kindness, mindful action and mindful speech, then we can change this pattern in this eighth consciousness level. So it is very deep inside us. So it is so great to know that you don't have to continue if it's not helping you. And this is a way that we can transform ourselves to be the person you want to be, and the person and the way you want to interact with the life around you. That's why one Buddhism emphasizes that the Dharma of a good habit, because when you practice, become who you are. So this is very critical, that your practice can change this eighth conscious level, that even in stored consciousness or it's a karmic stored consciousness, we can change our karma. We can change our way of relating with the life around us. We can change the way we live our lives and our relationship with our inner self. So this karmic seed in eighth consciousness level shaped our habit, our responsibilities, our personalities, and our emotional responses. That's why Buddha taught, when you think, you become. So your mind is critical in shaping your life. And there is a story reminding us that a student asked the Buddha, why do I get angry even when I want to be kind? Sometimes we feel that way. We want to be loving kindness and practicing the compassionate interaction, but sometimes we react in the opposite way. The Buddha replied, inside of you are two seeds, one of anger, one of compassion. So whichever seed you nurture more, that is the one that will grow. But that way we do it repeatedly, and that is become our personality, our stored consciousness. Remember this one and transforming through our awareness. This is why practice is critical, because each moment is planting something in our stored consciousness. So when you understand this one, it can help us that it is a way to purify our karma by recognizing it, by aware of it, and changing the pattern, changing the habit, and changing that karma. The ninth consciousness is a pure consciousness, Buddha nature consciousness. Beneath all the noises and patterns is something clear and quiet and infinite. We call it innate Buddha nature or Buddha mind. In one Buddhism, this expressed through Ilwon-san in our altar, one circle image. It symbolizes the true nature of ourselves. And when we chant the Ilwon-san vow, Ilwon-san is the true nature of Buddhas, enlightened masters, ordinary human beings, and sentient beings. But think about it. That kind of powerful potential within all of us, equally with the Buddha. So you are all potential Buddhas, because we all have this Buddha nature, this innate quality, very positive, very special quality. You were born with it. Then it's up to us whether we spend time to return to it and cultivate it and use it. So in one Buddhism, as we review daily practice, equanimity of our Buddha nature, we restore equanimity of our Buddha nature daily, and restore wisdom of our Buddha nature, restore loving kindness and compassion of our Buddha nature. That is the beauty of practice. of one Buddhism. So this innate capacity, potential to be awakened and to be enlightened, this gives us great hope and inspiration and motivation. So returning to the question again, who am I? Who are you really? Now, having worked through these 9 layers of consciousness, 9 layers of our minds, let's come back to where we began. Who am I? Am I just a bundle of reactions? No. Am I a story telling myself all the time, replay of memories or something you experienced, present or unpleasant? It is not. A personality shaped by karma or circumstance, this is also temporary. We can change it. We can transform it through practice. Because we are awareness behind it all. The calmness, inner peace, beneath the constant thought, constant churning inside of our mind, and space between our breath and clarity that shines when we have a thick cloud covering the mind. The question is that not something we try to solve, who am I now, but it is something to live with. Once in a while, you think about it and pause it, even after meditation, and return to this question again and again. Who am I? Am I this I consciousness? Am I this ear consciousness? But think, just checking yourself, am I stuck in the 7th consciousness with the ego consciousness, or am I just compounded and limited in that stored consciousness over the previous actions or patterns or karma stored there? Or I have a capacity to awake from all of this and return to our true nature. So in this way, the path becomes clear. Knowing your own mind is not about the self-improvement, but knowing your own mind is about the waking up to this Buddha nature. So in closing, we often search our answers for meaning or purpose or peace or joy or wisdom outside. But truly, when we understand these layers of our own mind, our own consciousness, something we can turn inward and begin within. So by understanding the mind, true mind or Buddha mind, we begin to understand life here and now on earth. So Buddha said, with your thought, we create the world. And founding Master Sotaesan echoed that mind creates everything. So the power of your mind, capacity of your mind is great, that everything we are creating, because of something began in your mind, this mind has that kind of power to manifest in our world. So knowing your own mind is a doorway to freedom and liberation. So let's take a moment today that constantly asking, who am I, where am I, and how am I doing? Relating these different layers of our mind and transforming the 8 different kinds of consciousness, really find the 9th consciousness in your understanding of who you are, in your interaction with the life around you. And that is the way really not only uplifting your life, but also uplifting life around you and hopefully bringing peace and compassion in our world. Thank you.
Our next item is a song by a Malaysian Buddhist musical group called Wayfarers, who created a number of popular songs that are still sung today. They wrote songs in English and Pali, covering mainly themes from the Buddha's teaching and personal reflection. Let us now listen to Jaya Mangala Gatha, stanzas of the joyous victory, by Wayfarers.
Bangun sahasa mabini, mita sayudantang, diri mekalang udita gora, sasena marang, dana Jita bangulindo, tang tejasa babatute, jaya mangalani.
Good triumph over evil. With gentleness, overcome anger. With charity, overcome stinginess. With truth, overcome deceit. This the Buddha taught. When the Lord was stormed by Mara, challenged to a battle by Alavaka, and attacked by the ferocious elephant, Nalagiri, he subdued them all with his perfection of giving, patience, and all-embracing love. By the power of that spiritual glory, may joyous victory be yours.
Today, we'll be looking into alms round, Pindapata, which is an ancient tradition in Buddhist religion. Under the guidance of Bhante Buddha Rakita, monks and nuns at the Uganda Buddhist Center went on an alms round within Beluga village. Their mindful steps with arm bowls remind us of our journey to liberation. We have this on video for your viewing, and here is the chief monk of Uganda, Venerable Buddha Rakita, to brief us about the development of Buddhism in his homeland of Uganda.
In a world filled with modern complexities, we find refuge in the timeless traditions that have endured through the ages. Today we invite you to explore a practice deeply rooted in Buddhist history, a practice that spans over 2,600 years ago, the Pindapata. Pindapata is an ancient Buddhist tradition which harks back to the times of the Buddha himself. This sacred practice involves monks and nuns embarking on a humble journey, moving from door to door and along the roadside, collecting alms from the villagers. It's a practice born of compassion and mutual support. In exchange for the generosity of the community, the monastics dedicate themselves to meditation, the study of Buddhist scriptures, and sharing their spiritual practices within all those who seek guidance. It's a beautiful symbiotic relationship that nurtures both the givers and the receivers. Bhante Buddha Rakita explains the significance of Pindapata and the remarkable development. That's the recent ordination of 7 Buddhist nuns who joined for 3 weeks. This event is a testament to the enduring spirit of an ancient tradition in the modern world.
Today we have done an ancient ceremony which is called Pindapata, means collecting alms. It originates from the time of the Buddha. Even the Buddha himself used to go for alms round to collect food in the community with his fellow monks. So we're talking about diving into history of 2,600 years ago, where monks and nuns go from one home to home to get food for their daily feeding. And that means lunch. They can get it and then they come back to the monastery and eat it. So now in Uganda Buddhist Center we've been doing this event from time to time, but without nuns, Buddhist nuns. So around this time, a few days ago, I ordained Buddhist nuns, and we decided to do the same event again, whereby 18 novice monks, 3 full ordained monks, and 7 novice monks, novice Buddhist nuns actually joined us to go for alms in this community. So this alms round, we are supposed to do it every day. It has to be every day that we go and get food from our community. So this is a way how the Buddhist community is supported by the Buddhist monks and nuns are supported by their followers, where they give them food. But it's expected that once we get food, we eat it, and then we can focus more on our meditation. And in return, when we practice, we have more time to practice meditation and study the Buddhist scriptures. Then we can share our spiritual practices, and we teach the people who have supported us. So it's a symbiotic relationship whereby our followers in the community give us material support like food, medicine, actually shelter, and clothing. And for us, we give back spiritual support. We teach them what we have gained through our meditation and learning. So that's what we've been doing. What's very interesting also, that this event actually predates even the Buddha himself. In India, those ascetics, religious sects, who go from home to homeless, they used to go and get food. So in the 6th century, when the Buddha came to the scene, he also adopted the same old ancient tradition of going to the community and receive food and the support.
Bhante shares the challenges faced when introducing Pindapat to Uganda. People were initially unfamiliar with the practice, often mistaking the monks for beggars or those in need. But as time passed, the Uganda Buddhist Center grew and the community came to appreciate and embrace these profound practices.
In the beginning, when I arrived in Uganda, I decided to do this practice, and then I took my alms bowl. When I took it in Mango, actually Mango, I did alms round in the Mango. People wanted to buy my alms bowl. They said, "How much are you selling?" And then I couldn't get the food. Then another time when I went with it, again they say, "Oh, this is a drum, please." When people are confusing it for drum, when people wanted to buy the basket, I tell them I'm collecting alms and the food. So it was very difficult. Another thing that made it very difficult, and for some time I stopped it for a while, is because people actually don't know us. They don't know the practice. In many ways, those people, they used to, when I go for alms round, like for instance, when I was in Sisa Island, I went for alms round, and of course I was barefooted, and then shaved head. So many people could not give me food. They were instead they were saying, "Oh, sorry, have you lost your relative?" Because they thought maybe I've lost a relative. So it became so difficult that I said, "Okay, let me wait." For many years, I've been waiting. We're talking about 2005 doing this practice, and people were confused about what I'm doing. So what I did, I was very patient, and I've been very patient to see that the community grows. The community started growing here when I created projects like water, whereby people come and get clean water. And now I started having projects like school projects, where actually parents bring their children to school. Then I started the women empowerment projects. Then we started the medical center. So now, as the community grew, they start understanding Buddhism and what is our practices.
At the Uganda Buddhist Center, Pindapat or alms round may become a monthly and even a weekly event as people gradually learn and come to appreciate this rich and harmonious tradition. The future holds the promise of ordaining 60 novice monks and 60 nuns, providing young boys and girls with a unique opportunity to experience the richness of monastic life.
kita bangun Indo, tante jasa bawatute, jaya manggalangi.
That concludes today's program. If you have any questions about the contents of our broadcast, please feel free to reach out to us at info@bdtv.com. Our dedicated team remains committed to sharing the profound teachings of Buddha, helping you walk the path of wisdom and enlightenment. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow at the same time. Namo Daya.